So for this video I wanted to talk about this camera. I've been using this camera for 6 months already. I use it mainly for content creation. I create videos for this YouTube channel, and I also use it as a personal camera to travel, to shoot videos while traveling. And I want to share the thoughts after using it during 6 months as a long-term review, and all the things that I use the most about the camera, the things that I haven't used in a while. And I also cover if this is a camera that I would recommend for someone that wants to upgrade their Sony camera or they want to get a new mirrorless camera. One thing that I want to emphasize is that I got this camera for myself, so this is not a review unit, this is my personal camera. I paid for it every euro that it cost. All the things that I'm saying here is because I want to share my thoughts about it, and not because anyone is paying me to say anything about the camera. Overall, I've been super happy about it. I've been shooting mostly 4K 25p for A-roll and 50p or 60p depending on the situation for B-roll, and it's been so nice. One of the things that I was most worried about when I got the camera was overheating, because it's a beast of a camera. It has a 10-bit, it has 4K, 422, it has so many things packed in a small body that I was worried that this could end up overheating while using it. And this concern was because most of people that tested it during the pre-production phases were facing with some kind of overheating during the tests. But so far I've been using it for 6 months and haven't had any warning about overheating. I'm always using the camera with the high setting for the temperature, but I've been shooting for sometimes even 1 hour and 15 minutes and no warning whatsoever. The previous video that I recorded, the one about the microphone that I'm using right now, I ended up also shooting the A-roll with 50p by mistake, and I was thinking that something like this would make the camera overheat. I recorded for half an hour in slow motion, or 50p in this case, and the camera didn't overheat at all. One of the features that I'm most happy about is the flip LCD screen. I haven't used my external monitor at all. While shooting myself, I can see if I'm in frame, if I'm in focus, if the camera is recording. I got all this with a flip LCD screen. I would only use the external monitor if I have to use false color or something like this. But even having LUTs inside the camera, it's making this great, because I can preview log footage, I can see the exposure if it's good or not. It's more than enough for filming myself. So I think it's one of the best features that the camera has. When recording the video handheld, one of the things that I was missing from my previous camera, I upgraded this from my A6700. Every time that I was shooting handheld, I was worried that this clip couldn't be used in my previous camera. With the A6700, I use most of the times the active stabilizer. It's IVs and also some kind of software stabilization in camera, and most of the times it's super stable. But one thing that you have to take into consideration, I realized that while doing horizontal pannings with the camera, it does weird things with the active stabilization on, and in this kind of cases I would disable and only keep it the active stabilization. But for the rest, it works super nice. Sometimes I have to stabilize a little bit more in post, but I think it's 99% better than my previous camera that I was having. Not only non-stabilized camera, but also the rolling shutter was pretty bad, so if I was moving a little bit while recording handheld, most of the time it was unusable footage. And with this camera this problem has been solved, so I'm super happy about it. If you want extra smoothness, I would recommend that you use slow motion 50p or 60p. I do it all the time if I'm shooting B-roll. If I have to do some camera movement or something that I think that could be shaky, I end up using slow motion and the active stabilizer, and then sometimes even I use post stabilization to get this extra smoothness of the B-roll. Another thing that is great from this camera is that it is a hybrid camera. Having good photo capabilities, it's also great, but one thing that I love about it is that you can switch from video to photo pretty quickly. And it's not only this that you can switch from one mode to the other, but with my previous camera you could have, for example, number 1 or number 2 setting for video settings and then go to the aperture priority mode to do pictures. But that would make the camera reset all the time to the stored memory functions, which was quite annoying. If you are constantly switching from photo to video, you need to reset all the parameters. In this camera, you have one setting that you can have completely different settings per photo and per video. So whenever you switch from one mode to the other, you get the previous settings that you use in that mode. So for example, I don't want to shoot in 1/50 in pictures, but I have this setting in my video mode. So whenever I switch from one mode to the other, I like to have the previous settings. Mostly with run and gun or travel shooting, it's super annoying that you have to be tweaking the settings all the time, and sometimes you don't even have time to do it. Now let me talk about the things that I haven't used, and one of the things that I was thinking that I would use more in the camera is the touch screen. It has this feature that you can focus tapping the screen, and I haven't found it this useful. One of the problems that I see with this is that it clutters the screen with a lot of icons for the options that you have while shooting. And not only that, but while traveling I was using the touch screen enabled, and while using the viewfinder sometimes I was tapping to the options accidentally. I realized that I was shooting with animal recognition mode instead of person recognition mode because I changed the setting with my face while doing pictures, and this is annoying, and I ended up disabling the feature completely. I get like a clean screen after disabling the touch functions. It may be good for beginners because they have all the options available, but once you get all the camera customized to your controls, I think it's not needed. Most of the things are in the function menu. As soon as you customize this menu, you can change everything in there when you need to change settings, and then have a clean display when you want to shoot. You don't need all the icons and all the options available there. Even for focusing, I think it's not the best because while you tap on the screen, it moves a little bit, unless that you're really careful tapping the screen very, very slightly. So if that's one of the features that you would consider getting the camera for, I wouldn't recommend it. I don't think it's worth, but yeah, every person is different, so it might work for you. Another thing that I haven't used at all with the camera is the AI auto framing. I think it was one of these features that sells. I think it was more to showcase that they can do that, but I haven't found a real world usage of it. I like that the videos are more static. I don't move that much when recording myself, and I feel like the videos that I've seen using it, it's quite annoying that you're constantly moving and the camera following you. It's distracting, and yeah, a feature that I haven't used, and I don't think I'm going to use it at all. So overall, I think this is a great camera. So my previous camera had already 7 years, but I think this is the first one in the lineup of the A6000 that has 10-bit, and it could be that you want to upgrade even from the A6600 because the features that this camera has are great. The battery life is great, the image quality is amazing, and something that also made me take the decision of continuing with this lineup is because I own a lot of APS-C lenses. Now there's also great cameras in the full frame range, so if you start from scratch, maybe you could consider also starting from something like the A7C II, that it's also compact, but the full frame lenses are very expensive. Just have this in mind as well. So for me it made sense, this one. I had 4 or 5 APS-C lenses already. I think I made a good purchase, and I would recommend it to anyone that is interested in this kind of content creation. I hope these things are useful for you if you're considering getting one. If you have any question about the camera, let me know in the comments below. I'll try to answer as much as I can. Otherwise, if you already own this camera and you're happy about it, I'd love to know your thoughts about it in the comments below. And yeah, that's it. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.